We're continuing to focus on our renewal as an archdiocese, a renewal that's going to involve at least 3 fundamental steps: prayer, strong, honest dialogue together, and action. But today I'll reflect about prayer. Recently, friends of mine celebrated the birth of their first child, a little girl called Emmy. And I've been sent a photo of Tim, the father, holding Emmy in his lap, just gazing down at this child. And the expression on his face is one that you'll recognise, especially you who are parents. He's gazing at Emmy with a look of wonder and amazement and delight and love and protective compassion. And the little child is looking up into the eyes of her new father with, well, a kind of quizzical hunger for the love she's receiving. Something important's happening between them. Love is flowing between them, each of them becoming something more than they ever were before. Right there is a perfect image of prayer. Below the words, below the petitions, below our devotions or our actions, prayer is that moment when we open ourselves to the compassion and wonder and delight that God has in us. And our hearts open back in response. So 3 things at least happen in that moment. Our delight back in God. As we find a moment of silence, we allow our preoccupations to fall away. That through our words or our devotions or our silence or our mantra, we come to that moment when we are touched by the overwhelming tender love of God. At that point we begin to be something more than we were before. We become the person God created us to be, and simply by that exchange of love we give glory back to God in the way that Emmy did, gazing at her father, bringing delight to him and to her, or a lover gazes at the beloved and shares the love between them. In giving glory to God in that way, by our prayer, we also become healed of our hurts. We're touched in the places where we're fractured, where we're lonely, where we're unsure. We're given strength by the love that floods us from the Father. So we become more truly the person we were created to be. And then, as so often happened for Jesus, filled with the Spirit, the same Spirit that empowered Jesus, we return from prayer back into the marketplace, back into the world, filled with a Spirit that enables us to see the world the way God sees it. We bring compassion to bear. We seek out those who need to be loved, those who have fallen to the ground, and lift them up. We begin to transform the world, because prayer is never just about our personal perfection. It's about giving glory to God, being the people we were born and created to be, and about then setting the world ablaze with love, with hope. So renewal in the Archdiocese is not going to come from the centre. It's not going to come fundamentally from the plans we create, even though they will be important. Renewal is going to come from hearts set alight through prayer. So as we move toward renewal, the vision of the church we need to be building with each other is a church where every one of us is steeped in prayer, begins our day in prayer, ends our day in prayer, prays privately, prays in our family, pray together, come to Eucharist, and then transform the world, touch the lives of those who need to be touched with love, the lonely child, the weary parent, the abandoned elderly person, the young people looking for hope. This is the transformation, this is the renewal will set our church alight and renew the world which we're called to serve.